Hey, I'm Lauren. I'm a mindset coach and I help people overcome the limitations of their mind so they can unlock their badass self and live life to their fullest potential. And so today I want to talk to you about labels. How we are labeling ourselves and how that is negatively impacting our lives today. So, when we're growing up, we tend to put labels on ourselves on who we think we are. And this is influenced by our teachers, peer group, family. It's influenced by a lot of outside factors, and we tend to put labels on ourselves of who we think we are, which greatly impacts our lives and how we live. And so, to give you an example, a label that I put on myself from a very, very young age was shy. I'm a shy person. I was born shy. This is just who I am. And this label, without even knowing it back then, but just looking back now, I can see how that has negatively impacted my life so much. And it later on developed into social anxiety, which again, I labeled myself as a socially anxious person. This is just who I am, which then led me to struggling with severe depression. And again, I labeled myself as being a depressed person, and that's who I am. I'm depressed. And so maybe you can relate to some of these labels, or maybe you have different ones that you've developed over your life. But something that I want to talk to you guys about is how they are impacting our lives. And so what happens when you start to live by these labels is you start to live by the traits that you believe this type of person to have. So by me believing that I was a socially anxious person, I started to live in ways that enhanced that even more because I believed that was who I was. And same with depression. I believed that I was a depressed person and that I was depressed. I mean, it's hard to say this in a certain way, but obviously I was dealing with depression, but I believed that that was who I was and I could not change. It's just who I am. And I believe a lot of people think that way. And so by thinking that way, I was sucked into it even more. And it made me feel stuck and live in that state even more. And so what really made the difference for me to start to overcome depression and anxiety was to change the way I was talking to myself, change my language. And so instead of saying I am socially anxious, I am a socially anxious person, or I am depressed, I changed that to I am feeling depressed. Oh, I notice I'm feeling depressed right now. I notice I'm feeling anxious right now. I have feelings of depression. I have feelings of anxiety. And just that simple change in language changed my whole life because it expanded my mind. Because what happens when you're living by a certain label and you're labeling yourself in a certain way is that you're living in a little bubble. You're living in a bubble of that reality. And that reality is an illusion because you are not that. You are so much more. You can be whoever you want to be. You can live a life, any life that you choose to live. You are not stuck in your mind. You are not stuck in how you are living right now. It's possible to be whoever you want to be. And so by popping this bubble, this label bubble, expanding your mind and freeing yourself of these labels, you can start to live a life that you love and a life that you desire. So have a think to yourself, what are some labels that you have been putting on yourself, and how can you start talking to yourself in a new way? Change the way you're talking to yourself. I'm feeling anxiety, I'm feeling depressed. You are not these things. It is not who you are. You are so much more. And whatever your label is for you, it might not be the same as what I experienced, but whatever it is for you, don't let it dictate your life and how you live. Because people live by their labels their whole entire lives. They believe they are a certain way, and so they don't push forward into new experiences and new opportunities that come up. They say to themselves, oh, I can't do that because I'm anxious. Oh, I can't do that because of this. Oh, I can't do that because I'm this. You are not anything. You are whoever you want to be. Stop stopping yourself. Stop limiting yourself. And so I really wanted to make this video for you today because it was something that I really got stuck into. I got stuck into these little label bubbles. And when you get stuck in these little bubbles, you don't see all the opportunities that are around you and how much more there is to live for. And so once I popped these bubbles, I was able to expand my mind and see how much I was really capable of, and that I could really do or be whoever I wanted to be. So I want you to expand your mind. You are so much more than these labels. I hope this video shifted your mindset in some way and impacted your life in a positive way, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.